Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Pretty Riot, and I'm sitting pretty starting riots right here on iLLANOiZE Radio. And every single week, you come and you watch these great interviews, and you still ain't subscribed. What are you doing? Hit the subscribe button and turn the notification bell on too.
This is iLLANOiZE Radio with Biko, iLLANOiZE Jones, and Pretty Riot going down right now.
Welcome world, welcome world, welcome world, welcome world. It's iLLANOiZE Radio, Chicago's most valuable radio show. I'm your host, Biko, alongside Pretty Riot, iLLANOiZE Jones, and as always, y'all know what time it is. We bring you all the illest guests from around the city and globe. And today, we got the homegirl Yachty is in the building. Hey now.
Welcome.
It's always good to be here with y'all.
Oh, don't
It's
say
been a
that.
while.
It's definitely been a minute.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw you was here.
Yeah. I came through this building a couple times. This is
Yeah.
a great building to be in. So.
You said this is a legend. What you were saying off air? You
I
said it's
told
like
you,
a
this
legendary.
is a legendary room.
Oh,
Y'all
man.
had some amazing people walk through this door. This is really like a staple for Chicago. I give y'all so much respect.
Yes, hey, and that's facts because
We appreciate you too.
that's what I was finna jump into because it's like anytime like on social or whatever, you always spreading the word about us. You always showing us love. If you could pop out, you there. Like we truly appreciate that. That shit is that don't go
course.
That's
unnoticed.
genuine love
So-
when we feel it, yo.
All the time. We appreciate y'all, the artists and the creatives in this city. Like, y'all have been a home and a place for a lot of creatives and artists to have a voice. So
Most of the time, you're on the other side of this table.
Joe,
Now,
I am.
Now today, you're on this side of the table, hanging out with us.
Yes, I'm on this side of the table.
and some things has changed.
Oh my God, a lot has changed.
I mean, like, let's start there. Like, you know, what's some things that has changed since the last time you stepped foot in this building?
So, okay, well, one thing is I'm at Def Jam now.
Boom, 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 boom! Where the horns at? Drop the bombs for? You hear me? Yeah.
Yes, that's one thing that has changed. I started working at Def Jam in October of last year, so I've been there about 7 months now. I'm working in the marketing department there.
Hey, I saw when you tweeted that. You was like, yo, I got my dream job. You didn't say what it was. You were just like, hey, I got my dream job. And, you know, that was your dream to work for a label?
Yeah, like I say it was one of my like big goals for like the last 2-3 years. Like kind of when I got my foot into music and I started to realize I really liked it and I was like passionate about it and I was starting to learn like I was really good at it and I think I could take it somewhere. I was like, okay, the next step is I need to finesse my foot in the label somewhere, somehow, and I didn't know how I was gonna do it. So yeah, that was like my goal for a long time.
Man.
So that was special to me.
And you said you so how did you finesse your foot in that door? You know, let people know like the work that went into finally landing that gig for you.
Yeah, it's crazy because and like more of this story is actually gonna come out really soon. But what I can say now is like I was interviewing at a whole different label. I was interviewing at Interscope, which is also owned by Universal. And the way I even got the interview at Interscope was crazy. Like I almost wasn't supposed to get that. That was for a role like I was totally unqualified for. But I was like, you know what? I got somebody's attention, so let me just work my move. And so I went through 8 rounds of interviews at Interscope for a senior position. And at the end, I didn't end up getting it. And but everybody loved me at the label, and a lot of them are still my friends to this day. But I just didn't have the exact experience they were looking for a senior position, and so it was like I was a little sad after that. Like I was like, damn, I done went through 8 rounds of interviews. Yeah. Like I was right there. But one thing that I kept in mind when I was interviewing, I was like, you know, I should make sure that I make a good impression on everybody I talk to. Because I don't know which way this is going to go. So I'm going to just make sure I make a good impression on every single person I interview with. And that's what I did. And so when it didn't work out, I hit up everybody I interviewed
That you did, no previous.
Yeah. And one of those people was a guy named Eric Hahn who works at Universal as well. And he blasted my resume to every label under the Universal imprint.
Yeah. Shout out to
he really
Eric.
rocked with me.
Damn.
And then Def Jam reached back. And then that was how I got my foot in the door.
How was it to get a call from, like, Def Jam is a historic, monument in hip hop. And to get a call or get an email back from Def Jam and then to get hired how did that make you feel? Like what was that feeling like?
I was so happy. Like, I was smiling ear to ear. And I was just surprised because it was my goal for a long time and I didn't know how it was going to work out. But I was just like, I'm just going to try everything that I know how to try and try to make this work out. And so I was praying about it and I was just like, somehow I know I'm going to get my foot in that door. So when it happened, I was like, damn, I really did it. I really actually got there. So I was just super happy and like appreciative. And I was praying after I got the call that I got the job. I started praying to God. Because then it's one thing where you get where you want to be, but now you got to have the discipline to maintain where you at. Where you want to.
That's a retweet right there. You say that again for the people in the back that didn't hear you.
It's one thing to get where you want to be, but it's a whole nother thing to maintain that discipline to stay there and keep going forward from there. So
since before we get to this break, since linking and becoming part of Def Jam's marketing team, what have you learned, working with the label that you didn't know beforehand, that you like, damn, this is why I'm here now?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot so far in these like couple of months. One thing I learned is that you never burn your bridges. And when I say that, I just mean like you're gonna come across people in the industry who you may not be that fond of or who you have differences with or you don't agree with all the time. And you may come around those same people again in a whole different opportunity. And that's been happening to me a lot lately. And so I always think back like, damn, I'm really thankful that even if something like transpired that I wasn't fond of with someone, I never burned my bridges with anyone if I don't have to. And so a lot of the people like that I met early on in my career, even that I interviewed with back at Interscope, I'm bumping into now with like, and now we doing other business together and stuff. And so that's one thing that I learned that I'm really grateful for. And then also that like, you gotta like really know how to separate business in the industry from like friendships and like taking things personal.
Laro came through and said the same thing about what you said. Don't mix like business and friendship. He was like, business is business.
Yeah.
Friendship is friendship.
Business is business. And that's how a lot of people I feel like kind of get burnt in this industry because you try to mix the two too much. And it's not meant for that all the time. You're going to meet some friends in this industry too. But you can't always go into everything thinking everybody your friend. Everybody isn't your friend.
So when you got this job, I know you had to go to the liquor store and pop a bottle.
Yeah.
I did a mini celebration, yeah.
Hey, y'all don't go nowhere, Chicago. We got the homie Yachty in the building with us. We talking all things. Is your business struggling? Trying to get your followers up? No problem. You can advertise with us right now. Tap that link above. Now let's get back to the show.
Look, we was talking about how you in them Def Jam buildings. I just want to know personally, like, what was it like when you first walked into those Def Jam buildings?
What's crazy is I started remote because COVID had happened and all of that. And even though like last year COVID had died down, but the workforce was still kind of like hybrid and everything. So I started fully remote. And then our Santa Monica office was being remodeled. So I was remote for like 2-3 months. The first time I got to meet my team was our holiday Christmas party in New York. So I flew to New York for the Christmas party, and oh my God, it was turned. It was turned. And Def Jam's holiday party like goes back years ago. Like it's like an infamous like staple type of thing. So that's when I met everybody.
It ain't just staff saying like artists is the and yeah, that's
like people really come through. So it was cool, and I was like, wow, like it was cool. And then I ended up coming into the office like early this year. I started coming into the office, seeing the plaques and like seeing all of that stuff was like so cool and nostalgic.
Damn, you is so are you like head of marketing? Are you like what's your role within the marketing?
I do advertising.
Okay.
I'm the advertising manager. So I do all of like the advertising for all of our artists on the roster on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the DSPs, Spotify, Snapchat, TikTok, everything.
Sounds like a lot.
It is, because we got a big roster, so it is.
Shit. Hoo-wee. And that's your dream job. You know, you've been marketing shit since
we met you.
A long time, right?
Like, if I'm not mistaken, did you get your degree in marketing?
I did. I went to Western and graduated with my bachelor's in marketing.
Damn.
2019.
So I had to throw that in there. So marketing is something you always wanted to. What even got you into wanting to be a marketer?
It was crazy. When I went to college, I really went to school for fashion merchandising. I wanted to be like a stylist and a buyer in fashion. I was really into fashion. And one day I was home during like my second year. I was home for Thanksgiving. And my auntie was talking to me and she was like, you know, you should really study marketing because it's a bigger umbrella. She was like, you'll learn the same thing you learn in the merchandising, but you'll be able to do more with that degree. And so I just took her advice for whatever reason. I don't even know why, but something just told me to take her advice. And I switched my major my sophomore year to marketing instead. And it worked out, though, because that next year is when I started LashKandii in college. And I learned through, like, building LashKandii that what I really enjoyed was marketing. Because my favorite aspect of running that business was, like, the social media aspect. And, like, working with influencers and doing content creation. That was my favorite thing to do. And so I was like, this is what I'm good at, and this is what I want to stick at. And from there, I just started trying other new things, too.
So, shout out to Auntie.
I know, right?
Yeah, shout out to Auntie.
she put you on game.
She put me on.
What wasn't, if I'm not mistaken, was there before LashKandii, wasn't it called something
Official
else?
SBY.
Official
Styles
SBY.
by Yachty.
What made you switch things? I mean, LashKandii got a ring to it. I ain't gonna lie.
It got a ring to it.
So what made you convert the name to LashKandii?
So the business had started taking off. Like, I kind of didn't know what I was doing in the beginning, but I just kept at it and I stayed consistent. And then it started taking off, and like, it was to the point where I would get like maybe one order a day to I'm getting 20 to 30 orders a day from people I don't know. And like, our Instagram page started growing, and like, everything was growing. And I was like, wow, I need to commercialize this business now. Because when I started it, I didn't know where it would go. Like, I didn't know how it was going to play out. I was just selling lashes, kind of. And so once it got to the point where it was taking off, I was like, okay, we need to commercialize. Because I would study all of the other cosmetic brands and see, like, how cohesive the branding is and, like, how their Instagram page look. And I would try to, like, kind of mimic that in a way with my own brand. But not copy them, but more so just apply those same techniques and everything to my own brand. And so one thing I noticed that we lacked was, like, a real authentic brand, I felt like a cohesive brand. And so I was like, how can I, like, tie all of this together? So then I came up with LashKandii because my IG name been iKandii for years. So I was like, okay, I'll do LashKandii. And then I changed the logo, changed the brand and colors, because I had learned so much by now about, like, how to keep a brand cohesive in marketing. I had switched up everything and just rebranded. And came back, and it looked way better. Remix.
Having that brand and going to school, was that easy for you to? Was it like easy? I don't know what I'm going to say, but it's like I'm learning this, but I'm building this at the same time. So it's like easy for me to retain all this stuff because I'm doing it at the same time. Where other kids in school, they not having even their own thing to even practice. They got to wait till internship. You're building your own shit and putting everything you learning into your own business.
Yeah, it was interesting because when I was running my business and it was taking off while I was in school and I was still in classes, and like, I'll be in class wanting to pay attention but focusing on my business. I'll be on my phone doing stuff for orders while the professor talking, and the professor would call on me and somehow I still know the answer.
Damn.
So it would be like, it was crazy. But what I noticed was that, like, I wish that the curriculum was different. Because I learned the foundation of marketing in school, but I didn't learn, like, they didn't teach us how to build a social media page. And like, once I graduated and got into, like, the workforce and everything, like, it was totally different. Like, they didn't even care about I had a degree like that. They cared about I had a business that was booming. Like, even when I came to Def Jam, like, they cared about all the cool shit that I had did. And so I was like, just imagine if I didn't take that step in college and start my own business and start doing all of this stuff on my own.
I think you'll be behind.
I'd be behind. And that's something I really dislike. Well, I don't know now. Maybe the curriculum has changed. But back when I was in school, when I look back at it, I was like, that's the one thing I disliked, is that I feel like they didn't put us in the field enough. It was a lot of old textbook work that was kind of outdated. But it was the foundation, which you do need, but I think we should have had more.
See, I think, too, social media is still something that a lot of these colleges start, trying to get familiar with, because nobody really knows. We know now that social media is very impactful, but I think when it comes to the degree of the market degree, they still trying to catch up.
Yeah, they're still catching up.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, even speaking of that, is social media like the go-to marketing nowadays? Before, it used to be out in these streets, radio,
newspaper,
TV. Like, what's like the priority marketing scheme?
I think digital is a big priority right now. Like, if you're an artist or you have a business, you can't get there without digital right now, and especially depending on the industry you're in. But in general, I think you really do need digital. Social media, you need, even past social media though, you need email, you need text. Like, there's so many ways to get in contact with people these days. But also, I do think you do need the footwork outside too. And I mean, just like old-fashioned networking. You got to get outside. You got to show your face. So I think it's a mixture of both. And I do think sometimes we get a little too lost up in the sauce of Instagram. And that was one thing, even I think I experienced that with LashKandii, was like, I got too stuck into Instagram. Even though Instagram's our main place, like when I was running that business, that's where the majority of my customers came from. But I was like, wow, I want to go out and I want to have my lashes in Walmart and like Sephora and like stuff like that, and I still do. And so I think an important thing to remember is that one day Instagram is going to fade out, and there's going to be a new platform, maybe TikTok. But one day TikTok will fade out. Like, so you got to like stay on top, and then you also got to keep in mind that you got to stay outside and you got to still network, meet people in real life. So it's a mix of both.
Before we jump into this break, Kandii, I want to jump back into LashKandii for a second. You were one of the first entrepreneurs I've seen that dabble into that industry. Now, I feel like it got like saturated. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. A lot of ladies took notes, men too, and just started just bulk buying lashes, hair, all types of stuff. How do you feel the industry is now, like from then?
I definitely think it has gotten saturated since like when I first started selling lashes. I do think it has gotten saturated. But one thing I noticed is that a lot of people have been just like selling products, like they just selling it. But are you building a real brand? And like, I think that separates a lot of people from a lot of people. Like when you actually want to take this, build it up to something. Like I always say, eventually my goal is like, I want to sell to a bigger brand. I want to build LashKandii up enough, and then I want to sell it and I want to sit on the board. I don't exactly want to be a CEO, for real. It's just not what I really want to do. But that's my long-term goal for it. When a lot of people like only think as far as, oh, I'm selling these products. And once upon a time, that was me too, but I had to catch myself. Like, what am I really staying up late at night for? What do I really want to do with this? And so I had to catch myself with that. So I think now it is saturated, but I still think there's a line right there in between people who just selling products and people who really trying to build a business.
And you busy, you're busy now. So are you even still working on that? Like, are you still selling product through LashKandii, and is it still a priority to you?
I do still sell some wholesale product because I had a lot of wholesale customers while I was running that business as well. I don't still have my web store up right now, but it will be coming back. I've been so busy with music and stuff lately. Like, I thought I took a break because I was going through some personal stuff, and then I intended to come right back. But as soon as I finished that break, music stuff just started, like, going from a hobby to, like, my real-life career. And so, like, I haven't been able to go back and relaunch the way I want to, but I will be very, very soon. Like, I've been working still behind the scenes and getting things prepped, so.
Yo, what's up? It's your girl, Pretty Riot, and I'm sitting pretty, starting riots right here on Illinois.
I'm going to let you finish, but did you tell them to listen to iLLANOiZE Radio?
Every Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Well, I was getting to that, but y'all made a point, so I hope y'all tune in.
Do that.
Wow. I want to go to the liquor store. She want to go to the liquor store.
Take a shot.
I want to go to the liquor store.
Shot.
Man, Man. This Illinois Radio Chicago.
What he say in that song? He say
valuable
bring that little hoe
radio
out.
show. He did.
He said, bring that little
Casamigo
hoe-
for the Frico. You feel me? I'm your host, Biko, alongside Pretty Ride, Illinois Jones. We got our guest Yachty in the building, man. And we just turned up to Liquor Store. She made me want to go to the liquor store for real and pull
Take
up.
a shot.
Yeah, I got to, man. It's the weekend.
It is.
Go to the liquor store.
Since we on this record, when did you all see the motion picking up? Like, damn, okay, we got some motion here.
I would actually say before we even dropped it, because we were like planning to drop some totally different shit, and then Liquor Store came. Well, no, he was playing and he recorded a snippet to it, and he was like, literally, the record. He gonna come on here and probably tell the story more in depth, but basically he was just playing around, and he was like at home, like, I want to go to the liquor store, and then he just started like playing and singing it, and then somebody told him like, you need to make that a song, like, and so then he recorded like, I think like a verse or the hook or something. Didn't even do the whole song. And he recorded himself doing it though and posted it on Instagram, and that fake little snippet just went up. Like, it went up, and everybody was in the comments, and I was like, okay, we got to pivot our whole plan.
Yeah.
We got to pivot our whole plan because we got to get this song to them because people really
want it.
And when I first heard it, I was like, whatever. But then I kept listening to it, and I realized, I'm like, this is so catchy.
It grew on you.
Yeah, it grew on me. And so I was like, we got to put this out. We got to shoot a video and put this out. And so we really had to pivot, and it worked. And so I say, like, I noticed before the song came out, I was like, this is going to be one.
And it's funny you say that. It grew on me too. When I first heard it, I'm like, okay, it's all right. Then I start hearing them. I'm like, wait, this shit is a vibe.
That shit hard. When I first heard the snippet, I say, oh, yeah. He got one.
Mm-hmm.
He got one. This is a thing right here.
How did you even meet Blessing in the first place? Like, how did y'all bump heads? Yeah.
I met Blessing through Flex because I had met Flex from seeing him on Twitter and just really liking his music, and that was the first artist I ever worked with. And so me and Flex was working, and after like a month or so, him and Blessing, like, they go way back, like way back. And so he told me like, yeah, you know about this artist named Blessing, and I was like, no, who's that? And he would play his music and everything, and I'd be like, kind of decent, but you know how you just never pay attention yet. And so like I think he mentioned him like a couple more times, like, nah, he hard, and he would tell me. And Flex is somebody I trust his instinct. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, he must be kind of decent. But then I started hearing his name from other people. I started coming around. I was like, okay, let me just listen and see what these people is talking about. And I played Planet Blessing, and I was obsessed. I played that album back for weeks, like just over and over.
What was your favorite joint off of Planet Blessing?
I like Shoddy Interlude. I love Lil Moody. I love Curve. It's a lot on there that I really rock with.
Yo, that joint what joint he flipped? He say he flipped Music Soul Child song.
Oh, Half Crazy.
Half Crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, when he did that shit, I say, I had to take my hat off to that man.
Damn, we got that joint too.
I fucked the baddest bitch alive.
Through his collage.
Had to tell a guy.
His collage before this show out. But
yeah,
when did you realize, okay, let me join Blessing's team? Before that, I got to say this too. Shout out to Flex.
Big shout out to Flex.
Flex hit us up like, hey, you got to check out Blessing. And just like, I'm like, okay, we all right. You got to check out Blessing. Like, he was on it. You got to check out Blessing. So shout out to Flex, because Flex definitely put us in tune with Blessing as well. And he said the same thing, like, man, this brother is hot. You got to check him out, play his music, get in tune with him. And then we was the first to break his music. So shout out to that man, shout out to that man. But I was going to say, how did you even end up into management? You know what I'm saying? And being and managing Blessing, or is it a whole management team as well, or just are you the solo one that makes sure things is getting done on his end?
So I'm his manager, but we do have a great team behind us. Since the Liquor Store record had came out, Zona Man, who is also from Chicago. So I know a lot of people are familiar with him. He heard Liquor Store and he came and was like, I love this song. Like and he listened to the rest of Blessed Music and he really was like, he's it or whatever. And so he came and he has played a pivotal role in Liquor Store becoming a successful record and everything that we've been able to do thus far, like him performing at the United Center, popping up on these stages, like everything. He's played a pivotal role.
He went on tour too, didn't he?
Yeah, he went on tour with Future.
Yeah.
Yep. He opened up with Liquor Store. Yeah, he's played a pivotal role just in everything that we have going on. So Zona is a big part of our team. Cheryl Patrick is a big part of our team. It's a couple of people like who have had hands in just like really making this take off. And so he has a great team behind him, and we just really trying to like do everything that we can, because I think we all like kind of share. We all know that Blessing is extremely talented. We know that he's extremely talented, and we all kind of just want to see this thing go up, and we see the potential. And so it's kind of like all hands in right now.
What's the goal?
I guess the goal is just for him to get on the platform that he's been working hard to get on, and for him to be happy as an artist. I mean, at least that's what I think of it as. I want him to be happy as an artist, and I want to see him live out his dream.
You still work close with Flex too as well?
Yes, me and Flex are like this. A lot of people don't know is that like me and Flex are like best friends in real life. Like that's like really my dog. But yeah, we got like a real friendship, and then we also have our work relationship. So I'm like Flex's marketing management, and along with Steve-O as well.
Damn. That's a solid
You got a
tree
big
right
three.
there.
You got a big three. You got a big three right there.
And they all like family. Like,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you'll be working with artists, but they may be cool with each other, but they actually like brothers.
Yeah, like we
in
all
this
got a
thing.
group chat, the four of us. Like we close like in real life.
Do that make the job easier?
Yes. Yes. And that's why I always think like I don't know if I'll manage other artists and stuff, because like I really enjoy the relationship dynamic I have with those three. So I always think about like, damn, I wonder would I ever manage other artists and like work. And I do work with more artists, more so on like the marketing tip, but I just mean like full-time management, because management is crazy.
It's like you
you like a parent.
Yeah.
You more like the sister now in this group. You the big sister that keep all this together.
It's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility, and like everybody thinks that job is so cool because like you get the glitz and the glam and you get to be outside and stuff. But it's a whole nother side to that of like you really have to be selfless at times, and you really got to have a shared common goal. So it's like it's like being a parent. So I always think about if I'll ever manage more artists and stuff, but I don't know. But definitely the dynamic that of them three already having a relationship, and like I don't gotta force nothing. They do features and stuff on their own, like so it makes it easier.
I'm having a brain fart for a second. Give me a second. It's gonna come. There we go. Got it. So you know, you're under Def Jam, right? I see Blessing tweet out a picture. It was like a welcome picture, I think, with I don't know if it was Interscope or Columbia. It was some label that he was under. And then y'all work alongside with Zona too. If I'm not mistaken, Future's under Epic. So, and then you under Def Jam. So like, does there ever come a time where like boundaries, you can't really cross boundaries? Does those type of challenges exist?
They definitely do exist. There definitely are some boundaries like within, because it's kind of mixy, right? Like it is kind of mixy. And that was something I was worried about, like actually in the beginning when I first started working there, when I started working at Def Jam. I was like, I don't know how all of this is gonna come together. And actually it's been working out though. So like I say like challenges and boundaries is just like I just don't make anything a problem. And when I say I don't make anything a problem, I just mean like I do my job in these different areas that I'm in, and I just do my job. And then from there, I think that it's also been a really positive thing, because it puts me in these different rooms where I'm always coming across the same people all the time and working with the same people and building these great relationships with these different people at different labels and on different teams. So it's been more of a positive thing than like a challenging thing for me. But I think the key is just to like stick to your job in the different
Stick
areas.
to your role, goddammit.
Yeah, stick to your role basically. Like I play this role here and then I play this role over here. And if they need to coincide, somehow they can. But I try to keep everything just in its own lane.
You wear many hats.
Yeah.
You wear many hats. Which hat gives you the most excitement?
That's a good question. What hat gives me the most excitement? I don't know. Like, I think I kind of get excited from all of them, honestly. I get excited from all of them because I love my job. Like, I love my day-to-day job and being a Def Jam and being on the label side, and I learned so much there. And it's such a amazing, legendary label. And then I also love, like, being a manager and having these close relationships with my artists and, like, celebrating wins with them and being a part of their journey. So I think they all give me excitement, honestly. I can't even say it's one that gives me more than the other because they all kind of do.
They all fuel that fire.
Yeah, like, they all kind of get me up in the morning.
No day's the same with either one, right?
No. No days the same. Things come up. Things be crazy. Yeah, no days the same.
Where you get this name, the Rich Auntie, from? I've been seeing that pop up a lot.
Everybody call me that, don't they? I don't know where they getting that from.
I'm like,
I
Rich
don't know where they
Auntie.
getting that from.
All through our story, Rich Auntie is gonna be on in the. I'm like,
That is so funny.
who gave you? Who's the first to give you that title?
that sounds like some little blusher-ish right there.
I think Steve-O started calling me that first.
Okay.
Steve-O started calling me that, and people was like, "She not even an auntie yet. Calm down." Which I actually am an auntie in real life, but I ain't old enough to have a title yet.
You know? They gave
I'm
it to
still
you,
working. I'm still working. So
They funny. Steve-O hilarious.
The Rich Auntie.
he is. He's hilarious.
Ah, man. I mean, yeah, Kandii, you man, I'm proud of the whole collective that you all have managed to build up. Before we outro too, again, I saw Blessing put that tweet up with Interscope. Is that solid or is it?
So yeah, you did ask that. So with that situation, we've just kind of been like, ever since we put the liquor store record out, we just been having conversations with different labels and like meeting people, trying to get a feel for what do we really want to be a part of. And so that's kind of what that was. Like we trying to just getting a feel for the industry, getting a feel for it. But it's a lot of people, a lot of major executives and major people who really like what we got going on, and they see what we trying to do, and I think they definitely want to be a part of it. So,
Is it a thing still about leverage as well? Like y'all leveraging up on certain things, streams? Do it make the conversation a little bit more, I guess, easier for you all within these rooms?
I think so. And I think that with anyone that's trying to, like, anybody, if they're trying to get a deal or you in deal conversations or whatever, I think building up your leverage is one of the most important things you could do, because it allows you to come to the table and say, this is my brand and this is where I want to go and this is what we want. You get what I'm saying? Versus like you coming to the table and you feeling like it's such an honor to be there and you just letting people tell you anything and you just jumping on, you know? So I definitely think it's important for artists to, like, a lot of artists just think, I just want a deal. I just need a deal. I need a manager, da-da-da-da. Build yourself up. Build up your community. And that's something I've been emphasizing a lot, is that, like, I really lately, in the past couple months, I've been really in tune to, like, seeing cult fan bases and artists with real community. And I think that's one of the more important things you should be working on building before you even go sit at a table for a deal. Is, do you have a real fan base? Like, it's one thing you got a catchy record or you got a hit or you think you raw, but do you have a fan base? Can you sell out a show? Things like that. Build that up, and then you'll be in a way better position when you go sit at them tables.
They ain't gonna give you no 360.
Yeah, they ain't gonna be trying to trick you out your spot.
You know, you get a little more your publishing and things of that nature, you know? So, man, appreciate you sliding, giving game.
And hanging out with us.
On the real, taking out time.
No, we appreciate you.
Thank you, Auntie.
Of course. I told you I appreciate y'all. So it's always a great thing for me to come through these doors. I love coming through these doors and hopefully bring more artists through these doors and come kick it with y'all a lot more. So
Hey, we here.
If they come from you, we know they cool.
oh, thank you.
And I'm pretty sure radio is part of marketing.
You know it is.
Yeah.
You know it is.
And you brought us a gift. You know, you came in bearing gifts. You brought us an audio treat.
And we love those.
Brought us an audio treat. We gonna leave y'all off with. We don't even know the official title to this joint. Y'all may see this title when it play. It's not official, okay? It's from Lil Blessing. But before we get into it, let people know how they can follow you, get in tune, and you know what's some updates as far as like things happening in the near future.
For sure. Well, first you could get in tune with me the easiest way on social media. Follow me on Instagram at iKandii, IKANDII _. And then, and if you got, I always tell people, anybody coming up like in this industry, you interested in the industry, my DMs are always open. I always want to help people coming up just so I could have somebody that I wish I had. So my DMs are always open. And then as far as updates, we got a lot of stuff coming. Like, Flex got some crazy stuff on the way. We finna have, it's gonna be a crazy comeback. Like, it's gonna be crazy. Blessing has some amazing things on the way too. These next couple of weeks gonna be fire. Steve-O is locked and loaded. He got some amazing releases that's finna drop in these coming weeks. And like, yeah, we just not stopping no time soon. Like, we don't go, so.
This is iLLANOiZE Radio with Biko, iLLANOiZE Jones, and Pretty Riot. Going down right now.